So welcome, my dear students, back. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everyone. And this is your teacher, Dr. Osama Kashwa, and this is the second lecture, lecture 2 in the business ethics. So let me say again, hello, everyone. This is your teacher, Dr. Osama Kashwa, and this is the second lecture in the business ethics. And we will move forward now that would be important for everyone to know about the business ethics and what do we get from the meaning of the business ethics. I hope you will understand it, and you will understand it very quickly. Thank you so much. Understanding business ethics and social responsibility. The business ethics, okay, we knew about it. What you should do and what you should not do. What about the word social responsibility? Social responsibility means I'm in this society. I'm a part of this society. I'm producing for this society. As long as I'm a part, this company is a part of the society, then it is responsible about giving a green products, a friendly environment, products is not polluting the earth, is not polluting the planet. The products is based on a quality standards. And also one of the main important points here is that I keep the unemployment in its own lowest rate by contributing to deal with the unemployment and to increase the employment of the people in my community or in my society. This is the meaning of the social responsibility. Social responsibility means I give donations to all the institutions around me. I might buy and donate with equipments for the dialysis. I might give donations as example for like transplantations units or surgical instruments or whatever, or donate with a new building for a new hospital in somewhere in the country. As long as I'm taking this profits from this country or from this community or from the city, so I have a social responsibility towards this city. It shows that I'm not only responsible about the profits or making profits only, but it shows also, beside the profits, I care about the society from which I made these profits. This is what we call it social responsibility. Of course, there is a great link between the business ethics and the social responsibility. There is a great link between both of them. So we will study the business ethics from the perspective of employer and from the perspective of employee as well. Okay. So we will know what's the meaning of ethics, the business ethics, and there's, like I said before in lecture 1, it's very close by. The ethics and the business ethics are very close by because they are, I consider like the business ethics is the son of the ethics. Sweet shops, occupational safety and health administration, code of ethics or code of conduct, and the social responsibilities. So when we talk about the ethics, actually, we have to talk about these topics. Each one of them, we have to give it a certain place. There are some things like make the what we call it the ethical dilemma or the conflict of interests. We have the Food and Drug Administration, we'll talk about it, the Equal Pay Act, the environmental protection agencies. That's all in the United States. We'll come now to our first question. What is ethics? And this actually been mentioned before in the previous lecture, and I'm repeating it back. So ethics is a set of moral principles, or we said ethics and morals. So it is a set of moral. This is the relationship between them. So the broader is the ethics, because it's including within inside it the moral principles. by which people conduct themselves personally, socially, or professionally. So again, I will say ethics is the set of moral principles by which people conduct themselves personally, socially, or professionally. Okay. We are still talking about the ethics. So we have to talk about, as long as we talk about the ethics, and I said this before in the previous lecture, then we will talk now about the business ethics. So once we talk about the business ethics, is a set of law about how business ethics should conduct. Business ethics is a set of laws about what? About how a business should conduct itself, how the business should run itself, what's supposed to be right in the business and what's supposed to be wrong, what to do and what not to do. All these are the ethical rules in the business ethic. In general, for any business to be successful, it must operate legally and humanly. Humanly from human. So, like as example, the equity in pay, the fair treatment for all the workers or the employees. These are all humanly points. So it must be legally and humanly. This is to work a business ethics. A business ethics must be legally, means working based on the legal. I'm not trading in something wrong. I'm not making sexual traffic or children traffic. I'm not using drugs. I'm not promoting drugs. I'm not working by reaching the others, like as example, doing a kind of bad work in the competition, in the markets. I'm working legally, clean work, and humanly. Humanly means I have equity in treating. There's also, and legally also, there is no sexual harassment, no problems like this. Humanly, there is equity between all the workers and employees. You shouldn't favor some of them against others, and so on. So this is what we call it business ethics. Ethics is a set of principles by which, like here we see here, by which you conduct yourself in a society. Look at this. How often do you help the environment? What do you do? So do I turn on the electricity? Do I do recycling? Do I keep the water, not wasting water or hydro? Do I recycle my newspaper? So this is environmentally friendly, and this is a work also of what we do as humans that will help the society. And it's ethically also to do it. No one is forcing you. No one will see if you are recycling or no. No one will see if you turn on or off your electricity at home without wasting in the electricity or wasting in the water. Those are very rare resources, and you should have to be very rationalized when you use them. Okay. Now we'll come to another point, which is the legal responsibility. And what do we mean by the legal responsibility? Sweatshops are factories that pay workers poorly, are unhealthy, and treat workers badly. They call it sweatshops. Like you see here, this is a new idiom today or new terminology. You know it for the first time? The sweatshops are factories that pay workers poorly. They don't give workers as they're supposed to give. Pay, a very poor pay, and unhealthy. Unhealthy is very clear. It means that inside the factories itself, there is no enough ventilation. It's very crowded. workers don't find a place to stand, or maybe also the machinery is used can cause injury or wounding for any of them. So all these also other problems. And treat workers badly means there is stress, there's kind of abusement, there's kind of harassment, there's kind of no equal treatment or equal pay, and they're favoring some of the workers or employees or the races in favor of others, and so on. So this we call treat them badly. Or there is a bias, sexual bias or age bias. Bias means that you are in favor, you support someone or favor someone against the others. So of course, all these are the responsibility of the business is not to do switch ups. So this we are studying the switch ups. It's just to tell us not to work on this file, not to do as these companies do. Those companies, like we said, the switch ups are factories that pay workers poorly, unhealthy, and treat workers badly. Okay. At the moment, we are going very well. We had in the first lecture, we talk about the ethics and the code of ethics, and the ethics and the business ethics and the relationship between them. And now we are taking some extra idioms like switch ups. The legal responsibility, still we are talking about the legal responsibility, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, is a division of the Department of Labor that sets and enforces work-related health and safety rules. Of course, the country and the government, in not only in the States and not only in Canada, but in every place in the world, they care about the workers. They care about not to have what we had before, the switch ups, to avoid having switch ups. So they work, the governments, through their bodies, their institutions like the Safety and Health Administration or Safety and Healthy Board. They always belong to the Department of Labor, actually, in any country. And they set and enforce work-related health and safety rules to guarantee that no switch-ups, no poor treatment, no poor pays, and everything goes on the right way. We have also, there are also agencies that protect consumers, monitor broadcast communication, and address discrimination in the workplace. Also, there are many institutions that help the workers, and they also defend on the right of the workers. As example, like the unions. Unions are those bodies which fight for the rights of the workers or the laborers. The labor unions are very famous on defending on them the rights, their infringed benefits, their intrinsic rewards, their pay, their leave. All these goes under this category, which is the labor union functions. It's also a bodies that these are bodies that defend the workers' rights or the labor's rights. All this again to avoid having these switch ups. We don't want to have pay workers poorly or have an unhealthy environment or treat workers badly. For that reason, we talk about the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, and we talk about the unions also. There are these legal entities of the unions which always defend the workers' rights. So I will stop here for 1 minute and go for questioning right now. And actually, I will ask this question. What are the efforts done by governments to avoid the sweet shops? What are the efforts done by governments to avoid the sweet shops? And I will enlarge it. Just give me 1 sec. Here we go. What are the efforts done by the governments to avoid the sweet shops? We know the sweet shops are the poor, the companies which are poor in their health rules or standards, poor in treating the workers in a fair way, poor in their pays. So we talk about things like, as example, the unions, plus also beside the unions, we talk about the rules of the government's boards, which help like the safety and health administration, which help to defend the workers' rights. So I will stop here like 1 minute, almost 1 minute, 2 or 3 minutes for having an answer for this question, and you can Google the answer here. Thank you. We'll stop like around 5 minutes here. So now we'll go for a video regarding the work of the legal responsibility, occupational safety and health administration, and see what they do, what is their jobs. We'll see what work they do to keep, running the business fairly without problems. This is in the States, and there is a branches in Canada also. Just give you it gives you an example of how the country is trying, or the government is pushing towards the application and the application of the business ethics.
HR Basics is a series of short courses designed to highlight what you need to know about a particular human resource management topic. In today's HR Basics, we explore the essentials of the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, known as OSHA, and HR's role in ensuring employee safety and health. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, known as OSHA, is the federal agency responsible for protecting the health and safety of workers. OSHA makes sure.
So the health and safety of workers is considered an ethical issue. Make sure that they are healthy, make sure no dangers, no risk affect them. These are all the responsibilities of the government. So they have their institutions represented in OSHA, and to make sure that the rules, the ethical rules in business is applied, and no harassment, no problems, everything in its own place as it's supposed to be. We said before that the ethics tell me what to do and what not to do. And that's the point. Okay.
Sure that employers follow occupational safety and health regulations and keep the workplace safe. On December 29, 1970, President Nixon signed the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1970 into law, establishing OSHA. Since then, employee safety and health has been dramatically improved. The Occupational Safety and Health Act established 3 agencies within the Department of Labor to oversee various aspects of workplace safety. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, known as OSHA, administers provisions of the law, conducts workplace inspections, and works with companies to improve worker safety. The National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, known as NIOSH, is a supporting body that conducts research and develops safety standards. Finally, the Occupational Safety and Health Review Commission, the OSHRC, reviews OSHA enforcement actions and addresses disputes between OSHA and employers that are cited by OSHA inspectors. Federal OSHA encourages states to develop and operate their own OSHA programs. These state health and safety programs are approved, monitored, and partially funded by federal OSHA. State programs, also called state plans, must be at least as protective as federal OSHA. There are currently 26 states and U.S. territories operating state OSHA programs. A major responsibility of OSHA is to enforce safety regulations in an effort to reduce injuries and illnesses in the workplace. Enforcement includes creating guidelines and rules, investigating, inspecting, and levying fines. Compliance officers have a great deal of discretion and authority to ensure worker safety. Employers need to know their responsibility, the standards, enforcement, consultation services, and complaint procedures through the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Let's take a look at each. So, what are employer responsibilities under OSHA? At the heart of any safety management program is an organizational commitment to a comprehensive safety effort that should be coordinated at the top level of management and include all members of the organization. Every employer that is engaged in commerce or has 1 or more employees must comply with the Act. Employers must provide their employees with work and workplaces that are safe and healthful, correct any hazardous conditions that they know may result in serious injury to their employees. Failure to do so could result in criminal charges, monetary penalties, and even.
So the safe of the workplace, the safe of the workplace is the responsibility of both the employee and the employer. It's the responsibility of both of them, not only the employer, no, also the employee. So if you see as example, any hazard or risk that's coming from work, in that case, you should notify your employer, and you're still responsible to notify your employer about the risk accompanied with any part of the work you are doing, if any. If you find any kind of risk, you should inform him, and still it's your responsibility. But you cannot say only it's the responsibility of the employer. The employer, as we said before, is the owner of the business, but the employee It's the one who works for the owner of the business. Okay.
The jail. Comply with all applicable OSHA standards, including any training requirements. Notify the nearest OSHA office within 8 hours of any serious injury or fatality that occurs on the job, or any serious illness or injury caused by the job. Any inpatient hospitalization of 3 or more employees as a result of work-related accidents must also be reported right away. The actions of managers should also support this effort. Balancing the competing demands for safety and productivity can be difficult, especially for frontline supervisors. Executives must lead the effort by establishing a culture that emphasizes safety as the highest priority. Designing safety policies and rules along with disciplining violators are important components of safety efforts. Frequently reinforcing the need for safe behavior and frequently supplying feedback on positive safety practices are also effective ways of improving worker safety. Such safety-conscious efforts must involve employees, supervisors, managers, safety specialists, and the HR folks. Accidents in the workplace are often reduced with safety training that is conducted in various ways. Regular sessions with supervisors, managers, and employees can be coordinated by HR staff members. Communicating about safety procedures, reasons accidents occurred, and what to do in an emergency is critical. Without effective communication about safety, training is insufficient. To reinforce safety training, continuous communication to develop safety consciousness is necessary. Many organizations hold brief monthly safety meetings conducted by frontline supervisors. Employees frequently participate in safety planning through safety committees, which are often composed of workers from a variety of levels and departments. A safety committee generally meets at regularly scheduled times, has specific responsibilities for conducting safety reviews, identifying risks, and making recommendations for changes necessary to avoid future accidents. At least one member of the committee usually comes from the HR department. OSHA rules and standards are frequently complicated and technical. While many industries like construction and healthcare have specific workplace requirements, all companies must adhere to 2 provisions. First, the general duty. The Act requires that the employer has the general duty to provide a safe and healthy working condition, even in areas where OSHA standards have not been set. Employers that know or reasonably should know of unsafe or unhealthy conditions can be cited for violating the general duty clause. Notification in posters is the second element. Employers are required to inform their employees of OSHA safety and health standards by using provided OSHA posters.
See, like we said here, that the employees are responsible to report to their employers about any risk or any hazard in the work. And the same thing also, that the employers also, so the responsibility is shared between the employer and the employee. Okay.
Standards, typically called regulations, describe what employers must do to protect workers from various workplace hazards.
Look at this now, must do. What to do and what not to do, what to do and what not to do. And this is the core, like we said before, this is the core of the business ethics. Okay.
Some standards are general and apply to nearly all workplaces, such as the Hazard Communication Standard. Other standards about specific hazards found only in some workplaces, such as the lead, asbestos, and fall protection standards. Specific standards set out detailed rules that must be followed or minimum levels of protection that must be achieved for a particular hazard. OSHA's specific standards cover a wide variety of workplace safety issues, including the hazards shown here, plus many others. Such things as toxic substances, hazardous equipment, electrical hazards, slips, trips, and falls, hazardous waste, infectious diseases, fire hazards, machine hazards, and confined spaces are covered. You can find standards that apply to your workplace by visiting the OSHA website. Notice that there's a set of standards for general industry and another set for the construction industry. To find them, go to www.osha.gov. OSHA enforces job safety and health standards by conducting inspections and, in some cases, issuing citations and fines. OSHA inspects workplaces when it receives a report of a death or serious injury or when there's a complaint by an employee or employee representative.
So here are the specific duties of OSHA. What OSHA do, or what OSHA does, sorry, for making sure that everything in its own place, making sure that of the application of the rules that will allow all the workers to work in a good place with good conditions, with a lower risk, and with the safety standards. Okay.
OSHA may also inspect workplaces that are on a list of high hazard industries. In this case, OSHA randomly selects a workplace for inspection. OSHA may also inspect an employer because it's identified as having a higher injury rate than other employers in the industry. It's not necessary to wait for an OSHA inspector to check the work area for safety hazards. Regular inspections can be performed by a safety committee or a company safety professional. Problem areas should be addressed immediately to prevent accidents and keep work productivity at the highest possible levels. OSHA consultation services provide technical assistance to employers on health and safety issues. Consulting services include on-site visits with no fee, assistance in complying with OSHA standards, educational seminars, and publication.
I think this will be enough of this part of this video that shows us what is the meaning of OSHA, like you see here, OSHA and its work and the job of OSHA. These are the points which we talk about the legal responsibilities, and we will move forward for the next video, episode 3, about the code of ethics and the code of conduct. And we'll know what is the meaning of code of ethics, and we'll see a video for the code of ethics. Till that time, thank you so much. I'll leave you in peace and see you again. Have a very nice day, and all of you guys stay blessed. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.